Welcome back to the Muscle Preservation Podcast. I'm your host, Marianne, coach, educator, and the founder of Peak Mind and Muscle. This show is for women who are tired of doing everything right and still feeling stuck, especially when it comes to strength, body composition, and long-term results. Here, we talk about what actually is going to work, not trends, not extremes, and definitely not bullshit quick fixes. We focus on building strength, protecting muscle, and creating a body that feels capable, resilient, and sustainable. Whether you're navigating weight loss, performance goals, or a major season of change, you're ready to stop chasing comfort and start building something that actually lasts. You're in the right place. Let's get into today's episode. So, I've been thinking a lot lately about how obsessed the whole world is, but I think the United States is especially obsessed. But with how obsessed we've become with comfort, not just physical comfort, but emotional, mental, identity comfort. We've built entire lives around avoiding discomfort. And the problem is growth doesn't live in comfort. Growth doesn't live when you're comfortable. This episode isn't about suffering. That's not what I'm saying either. It's not about grinding or pushing through pain for no reason. It's about recognizing that if everything feels comfortable all the time, you're probably not changing anything. That's odd to me how often people assume and associate discomfort with wrong, bad. Those things are mutually exclusive. If you're uncomfortable, that's a bad place to be. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I like being comfortable. I like having comfort. But it's important to know that maybe we should challenge that. We should challenge the thought that comfort is good. Maybe it's neutral. Maybe sometimes it's bad. Maybe we got to push ourselves a little more than we think we should. Comfort has quietly become just our default setting for everything. Food, fitness, work, your relationships, even personal growth. It's just the default to assume we should be able to be comfortable. We're told, listen to your body. Listen. Don't stress. Don't push too hard. Protect your peace. And those ideas aren't wrong. I do those things too. You should listen to your body. You should reduce your stress. You should not push too hard. And you should absolutely protect your peace. However, they aren't complete thoughts, because what we've really done is treat discomfort like danger. And discomfort isn't dangerous. Most of the time it's information gathering and information we need to have to improve. Wellness culture is a great example of how comfort has taken over everything. If you're being sold on a wellness program today on Instagram, you're going to be sold most likely on what you're not going to have to give up, what you're not going to have to do to get the results you want. You're going to be sold on the idea that you can do the things you want to do and maintain comfort. In reality, that coach is going to kick your ass. That coach is going to teach you kindly, hopefully, that it's still going to take a lot of work. Sure, you can drink wine on the weekends and maintain that comfort, but we have to make up for that somewhere else. We got to do something about that. And that's just the truth about growth. It's never going to be simply comfortable. It's never going to be comfortable. And avoidance of discomfort often gets disguised as self-care. And that is the strangest concept to me, because Truly, I think the thing you could do to care for yourself the most is put yourself in uncomfortable situations, knowing that life will present uncomfortable situations. You practice piano to get good at piano. You practice, an example for me, jujitsu to get better at jujitsu. We need to practice discomfort so that we are better at discomfort. We need to practice that. And when we practice it, it can get disguised or it can get called like extreme or obsessive or things like that, when maybe you're just going to the gym 3 days a week and people are like, oh my gosh, she's so obsessed with the gym. She's so obsessed with it. You're practicing discomfort to grow. And I'm proud of you. If you're doing that, I am genuinely proud of you. Being uncomfortable is a form of self-care. Maintaining comfort at all times is not self-care. That's not self-development. It's not growth. It's not treating yourself like you have the potential to be more than you are today. I see this most in my clients when it comes to things like food tracking. Nobody wants to track food. I get it. I don't want to track food. And I'm not here saying you have to track food for the rest of your life. What I am saying, though, is if you've never tracked your food, if you have no concept of what is going into your body, that challenge of tracking is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to provide you information you're not really comfortable receiving. We see where the deficits are and where we need to build and grow. Then we can make change. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Discomfort provides you information. Discomfort gives you the building blocks to do something different. And that's such a cool place to be. What a place of power to know that you have everything in your control to be able to change your status, your well-being, your physical features. You have that in control. Discomfort will provide you the information you need to build that life. Now, I've been training jujitsu for a little over a year. I'm not good at it. I will likely never be good at it, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Jiu-jitsu has been one of the biggest teachers of this lesson of discomfort for me. There is absolutely nothing comfortable about it. You are physically uncomfortable, you're mentally uncomfortable, and you're often very, very aware of how bad you are. It's the wildest concept to be so blatantly, bluntly aware of how terrible you are at something. And to make it worse, as you grow in jiu-jitsu, you don't, at least at my phase, get better. You just learn how much worse you are. All you're doing is learning how bad you actually are. And then you start to learn what you should have done. And now you recognize when you are getting in a bad position that you're getting in a bad position. And it's all so uncomfortable. There are moments where your brain is just screaming at you to escape. You go into panic mode, not because you're in actual danger, but because you don't like how it feels. And what I've learned is this. The people who get better aren't the ones who avoid those moments of discomfort, those moments of panic. They're the ones who learn to stay calm inside of that moment. This is such an important concept that is hard to learn. It's even harder to perfect and is so vitally important. You have to learn how to stay calm under panic, under pressure, under discomfort. Every time I don't immediately flee comfort, I grow. That's applicable to jiu-jitsu. It's applicable to the business I'm running. It's applicable to talking to a screen. That can bring discomfort. But every time I don't immediately flee discomfort, I grow. I grow. How cool is that? How cool is that? I want to be really exceptionally clear here, though. Discomfort is not the same thing as harm. It's not the same thing. Pain, injury, burnout, ignoring real warning signs, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not discomfort, that's injury. That's not ouch, that's injury. That's what I say to my children. Is it an ouch or is it an injury? Because they're different and how we react to them are different. I'm talking about the discomfort of learning, the discomfort of being bad at something, the discomfort of doing something new before you feel ready. Before you feel ready. We've blurred the line so badly that now the moment something feels hard, we just assume we should stop. But the thing is, readiness usually comes after action, not before. And I get it. That sucks. Everyone wants to be ready before they act. Everybody, me included. I want to be ready for something before I act. I research. I am a researcher. I will analyze until I die and never have done anything. And that's just not the way to live. That is allowing your fear to be in control of the situation instead of your intuition, of knowing what direction you need to go and just going that direction. Sometimes you need to trust your gut. There's just so many examples of fear running the show instead of you that lead to this concept of a desire to be comfortable. Anxiety, fear, they're always going to pull you into comfort. You don't want to feel them. You don't want to feel them. And so instead of leading with intuition, instead of leading with bravery, instead of pushing towards growth, you stay in comfort. That's letting fear control your day. That's letting anxiety control your life. And that's not a place of growth. This definitely shows up clearly in fitness and body change. And that's mostly what I talk about is going to be fitness here. People want transformation, but they want it without discomfort. They want strength without feeling weak first. They want fat loss without hunger signals. They want confidence without ever feeling exposed. Even with tools like GLP-1s, which can be incredibly powerful, helpful tools, they don't remove the need to do uncomfortable things on purpose. Muscle is built in discomfort, plain and simple. You must break apart your muscle in order for it to grow bigger. Discomfort is inevitable. If you want muscle on your body, and you should, because it is protective, it is important, it increases your longevity, your stability, your ability to live longer, you must be uncomfortable to get it. You have to. There is not another way to get muscle. Skill is built in discomfort. Confidence is built by surviving uncomfortable situations and realizing you're fine. Confidence has everything to do with just surviving discomfort. Once you survive it, you realize you can survive it again. And when you survive it again, then you're confident that it's all going to be okay. And now you've grown. And that's incredible. This isn't about misery. Just like this isn't about burnout and injury and true pain. This isn't about making your life miserable. Nobody, including myself, wants to turn their life into misery. It's about being willing to choose small intentional discomforts when it matters and on purpose. Stay in that rep a little bit longer. Hold it a little bit tighter. For jujitsu, roll with the person who makes you a little nervous. Have that conversation you keep rehearsing, but are chickening out of having. You don't have to love it. You're probably not going to love it. You don't even have to feel confident to do it. You just have to say it. Comfort will always be there. It's always there. You can choose comfort at any time. Growth asks for something different. The moments that change you are rarely comfortable, but they're almost always worth it. So if something feels uncomfortable right now, before you run from it, ask yourself, is this hurting me? Or is this teaching me something? Because the things we avoid are often the things that would potentially grow us the most. I really appreciate you guys hanging on for this episode. This topic is really important to me, and I am so appreciative that you guys are here spending a little bit of your day with me. If this resonated with you at all, if you feel like this would help out a friend or a neighbor or a family member, like, share, and save this podcast to get it in the hands of more people. If you're interested in learning more about the online fitness and nutrition coaching I provide, check the show links below. Thank you so much for being here on the Muscle Preservation Podcast. We'll see you next time.